Hello and welcome to the Chattergate podcast, where we talk random shit or review something. I'm your host, Ranking Thomas Hughes. I have the lovely Licola, Hayden and Roberts with me here.
Hey.
Because we still continue on with our Jurassic adventure. But this time it's not a park. I mean, it kind of is a park still. But no, this time it's Jurassic World, the requel, as a lot of people like to call these type of movies now. That came out in 2015. Oh, it makes me feel old.
Jeez, yeah.
That's like, what? 7 years ago? I can't believe that's 7 years. Oh, fuck. You know it's old. I watched that at the showcase when that was still around.
Oh my god.
That's how old that is. Before that shut down, our one. And we get stuck with a much better version, to be fair, with nicer seats. Anyway, so obviously we're going on to Jurassic World. Obviously the new trilogy minus in... I want to say legacy characters because they don't come in yet.
No.
This is a requel, which is your legacy sequel. If you've seen the new Scream, it does explain that a lot. But for people who haven't, I will explain. It's basically like, you can't do the same. You can't put out a new movie. You have to put out the same movie, change it enough to make people like it, and then bring back your legacy characters so people have that emotional attachment, which is basically what this does. But without the legacy characters, the only legacy character really is mentioned is John Hammond and a statue of him. That's all there is. I mean, you could say the T-Rex is a legacy character in this movie, maybe?
Yeah, because...
he's the only one that's actually designed to be the exact same as the old movies, because, I mean, the raptors are now actually coloured and whatnot, so maybe you could say that is the only one that's back. So, yeah, T-Rex is the legacy of this movie, and then the rest is in the next movie for a brief cameo, pardon me, and then the next movie after that. But still, obviously, the last one before this was 2001, which is obviously Jurassic Park 3. So it's a good, obviously, 14 years gap for a sequel. I mean, it's not as long as a Ghostbusters sequel length. I mean, what? Was it, late 80s, was it the second one? Is it early 90s? And then it's like 2021. So that's a bigger gap there.
How long was Incredibles?
Incredibles was 2005, I want to say, maybe 4. And the next one was like 18?
I think so.
So... yeah, there's a few movies out there with big fucking time gaps, and this is another one that has this big time gap, because, see, I see with those ones, it's more of the case of they're just trying to get it all right, whereas it's the case of, has Jurassic Park 3 killed off the franchise with how bad it did money-wise and critically? I mean, Lost World was bad critically and audience-wise on the Rotten Tomatoes, but obviously this is even worse. But obviously, so you think, oh shit, are they ever going to do another one? And then they know where they're like, okay, but another one, Spielberg actually involved this time and actually having a more hands-on approach on set of like, yeah, I'll do it this way rather than this way, do it this way and that way, and keeps going like that. Whereas obviously before he didn't, he was just like step back and was like, oh yeah, you can do this instead of me. If you do another one, you can work on that instead and destroy the franchise for most people, not me. And then obviously they did this. Colin Trevorrow, who at one point was going to do the last of the recent Star Wars trilogy, but dropped out, and then obviously Abrams came in and, Member buried the whole thing. I remember. Obviously he did this one. Doesn't do the next one, but does come back for the third one. Damn, he's kind of a J.J. Abrams of the Star Wars ones. Does the first one, fucks off on the second one, comes back on the third one. Wow. But obviously he comes in, actually does a really good job. Yeah, he's doing this. He's giving you the same movie, going to a park, dinosaurs escape the park, yada yada. Carnage, people trying to survive, but he does it on a bigger scale than what we've ever seen. I mean, the new one does it even, by the look of it, it's going to be even bigger than that, but he does it on a scale, whereas the first one was just, the only people there were people that worked there, and people that had been brought in to stuff.
Just two random kids.
Yeah, and two random kids. Obviously, the only other adults there were the ones that, obviously, were there monitoring the park, like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool, like, obviously Alan, Jeffy boy, sorry, Ian. I gotta go with his character name, not his real life name. And obviously, I forgot her name. Her name's like, why is it whenever I try and think of something, names always just like slide out my brain. It's like you're gonna see the name like a SpongeBob thing, like when like you see the big letters pop out of like, the mouths. It's like that, but out my ears. Like, I literally fuck Ellie. Ellie.
Yeah.
I don't know why I forgot that. I was trying to say Sarah, but Sarah was the second movie. That was obviously Malcolm's lover in the second film. Yeah, Ellie. And obviously they were there just to monitor, like, to give their thumbs up. Thumbs up to the lawyer, like, yeah, this is good, you can do this. But obviously, this doesn't have those sort of ideas. Obviously, you have the two rando
Mm.
kids that they're brought in just to monitor the park. Just to be the close to their aunt because their family's basically breaking down. You obviously got the aunt who's running the park. Obviously got all the people that work there. You've got obviously the guy who funds the park. He's also quite a bad pilot. And then you've also got obviously the tourists, which weren't present in the first movie.
You get the actual civilians.
And so, because the only time we've ever seen civilians that weren't like purposely going to like weren't obviously what I'm using my words here. That weren't obviously in the park. Like is fucking Lost World. Obviously that's the biggest sort of like attempt we've seen obviously of people getting attacked because the main people on the island and then the people obviously in the San Francisco. And I only count Jurassic Park 3 because there was only so many people there. It was basically Jurassic Park 1 again, whereas this is based Jurassic Park 1 but bigger. Not better. I'm gonna say not better, but fucking hell, this is a damn fun movie. It's so entertaining. Visually, it's probably the best it's ever been. I mean, it even like improve on the animatronics, like make them look even better,
even more realistic.
Exactly, and there's a bar set with the other ones, like for animatronics and puppeteering, and this does that so well. I mean, obviously, one thing I've always complained about when watching through them is there is a lot of moments where you go, CGI's a bit dicey there. You can sort of tell that it's not the greatest, but this, even the little tiny fucking Triceratops in the background during the weird like kids riding on them like the pony situation, which are digital, look fucking amazing, and their backgrounds, they are fucking in the background. Like you don't even need like the audience to focus on it. You could literally just pan across real quick and have like a really shit CGI thing in there, like your audience probably wouldn't pick on, and just quickly move to the next scene. But they don't. They actually put effort into making them look good, and this is probably the most we've seen of dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We've got obviously you got the Avery that explodes, and you see all of them, which all look great. Obviously, you got the T-Rex again, which looks great. You got all the raptors, the Triceratops, the Ankylosaurs. There's a brief shot of some Pachycephalosauruses. Obviously, you got the I don't know. I don't think it's a Patasaurus, is it? But basically you got some long neck ones. It's easy. It's easy to just call them long necks or Littlefoot if you're watching a lot of Land Before Time. And obviously you got all a load of other species here and there. And then you got the genetic one, the Indominus, which is just basically a white T-Rex that's bulky as hell and actually with arms that can do damage. Essentially, it's like the T-Rex and the spiny merged into one without the spine. Yeah. Because it's got the design aspect of a T-Rex with the arms of a spiny, basically. Or as I sort of look at that. But obviously it has the traits of a Velociraptor.
Yeah, and also possibly other creatures, like was the cuttlefish one.
Cuttlefish was in there for the camouflage, because as the guy from the Wolverine shouts, "It can camouflage!"
And obviously, like thermal vision, I'm guessing from some kind of snake.
I'd assume it'd be from a snake. I don't.
They showed obviously in the little tank there is a snake there.
Yeah, so I'd assume that the thermal vision maybe was from a snake. Or if not, they've captured a predator and genetically altered that into the DNA. So if you start hearing a clicking sound in the background, then you're fucked because it's in the trees and it's even mimicking the voice as well. It's going to start speaking like Arnie. Put the cookie down. What?
And there's also the theory of they might have used human DNA.
Yeah,
to make it more intelligent.
Yeah,
you can see its intelligence.
Oh, it's definitely intelligent. I mean, the first time you see it, because you only get that's why I like this. It builds up to it because it focuses heavily on the park at first rather than the dinosaurs, which is what you said. Yeah, it does obviously a bit different from obviously Jurassic Park, because that once it obviously got through the things, it quickly got into the dinosaurs. Whereas this, it builds up to it because like we've seen dinosaurs for 3 movies straight. Let's see how they've actually developed this park. And obviously the first shot when the kids get there, and you see this massive park, and it's like, damn, I can never build that in Jurassic World Evolution. I mean, I'm shit at design aspects. My monorails are just like, woo! It does not even like fit in half the place. It's just like the worst monorail system ever. And then you got the second game, which you can't even do half of it at first because you have to unlock everything, which is annoying. But still, you're looking, you go, fucking hell, this actually looks like a place that you want to go visit. 'Cause, I mean, the first shot, I literally looked at it, I was in my head, I'm like, I want to go there. I mean, that looks so cool. Not just because there's dinosaurs. I mean, it looks like a decent park. I mean, it's on like a remote island. There's a whole train system going around, looking over the top of it. The gyrospheres, which you get to see at one point. I mean, Tell me you wouldn't want to go and visit that island, because that looks fucking amazing to visit.
Because either we die from dinosaurs, best way to go out.
I mean, that is a good way to go out.
Or we just see dinosaurs and we survive.
Exactly.
Win-win.
It is a win-win, and it obviously, as I say, it goes through the island and goes through the characters one by one. Like, oh, here's the kids; they're related to obviously the one this. Oh, here's the one who pays for it all. He doesn't care about the profit coming in; he just cares what Hammond wanted. His dying wish was make people happy. You got obviously Owen and his friend. I don't remember his friend's name too far off the top of my head. Who basically look after the raptors. You got Hoskins, who's basically this like military dirtbag who basically just wants to make profit and weapons out of the dinosaurs. Obviously, you got the techies in the computer room. The guy from New Girl who's like really hilarious. Obviously, the woman who's in there with him. And then you've also got obviously the nanny, essentially. She's basically a nanny, and she's meant to watch over them. And it goes through like each character, and I'm just showing off their sort of traits, who they are. Obviously, say Chris Pratt's Owen character is basically just the muscle. He's like the wisecracking, beat the shit out of if you cross the wrong line muscle. But he's also smart compared to Star-Lord.
It's basically if like
Star-Lord had a brain.
If Alan Grant was like more badass, he's more of the action man
rather than just like a scientist. That shows a difference there. Because he's basically meant to be the Alan of the film for the fact that he's with raptors.
Yeah.
But I like that they haven't just done the same character. Like they haven't just done this like scientist.
He's not a scientist. He's more of like a survivalist.
He's, but they've actually they've got that aspect in there. The archaeology side of him, like he knows dinosaurs. But then you say they've got the animal tamer side of him, which shows more how this is basically like a zoo more than the first one.
Yeah.
The dinosaur side of it, because people actually know what they're doing. They know actually how they can handle what's in front of them. Obviously, got the raptor situation when the guy falls in for the pig, and Chris Pratt goes in, and he's there like he's there holding them back. He knows they sort of trust him, but he knows they don't trust him fully. He knows this deep down. Yeah, you can do this blocking there, but he knows they're still animals.
Yeah, they're still wild.
And that's why as soon as the kid gets out, he's like close the gate and then slowly backs up before jumping out. He knows they're still wild animals because that one shot of them just smashing the gate is just stood there like. Yeah, they still like they respected him, but they're like, dude, we're still gonna eat you. I don't care if you trained us. You're food to us. We're just gonna give you a good head start because, woohoo, it's gonna be a good one. But yeah, like a lot. There's so much in this that does give you nostalgic memories of the past. Like even like the smallest thing, like the Dilophosaur, like a hologram. That guy makes I remember that Dilophosaur from the first movie. It's never been seen since. It gives you those sort of like little nostalgic droppings here and there. Obviously, mentioning of Hammond, and then you got B.D. Wong's obviously. Fuck, I don't actually remember his character's name in this movie. The scientist from the first movie.
Oh shit!
I don't remember his name. Do you? I remember his real name, but I'm good at real names. I'm bad at in character names. It's B.D. Wong. That's all I remember. Obviously, his character, which first movie is such a minor role, and then it's like, oh, he's back now. Oh shit, I remember that guy who was in the first film. And then it's the sort of twist of the character, like, yeah, no, he's a villain. Like he just wants to make a profit from these dinosaurs rather than a zoo. So I deep down, I kind of want to believe that he was somehow linked to the first one. Like he knew what was going to happen. Obviously, and that's why he got off the island because he was probably deep down he thought they're going to fuck this up. It's Nedry. Like even in the Telltale game, which I've been playing at the moment, which by this point should have all been finished. They are always mocking Nedry, like, oh, he's probably like stuff in his face or something like that. And I mean, even when they find him, it's just like candy wrappers all in his Jeep and everything, and they're like, damn. But I like to think deep down that he knew what was it's all gonna fuck up. So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go with everyone else, because then it makes it look less suspicious. Because I like to think that he was maybe someone on the mainland that was gonna take it off him. That'd be like that'd be a good like, bit of lore there, Jurassic Park or Jurassic World this time. Maybe sprinkle that ideas in. This is why I should be writing from. I know how to sprinkle this little thing of callback and adding to the callback. But obviously they give you him and you're like, oh shit, yeah, I remember from the first one. And then he's obviously explaining all this stuff that he's done. And then even then when obviously the Indominus gets out and he's explaining obviously the new stuff, like he's like, oh, I'm not to blame for this. Yes, I made it, but you wanted this. You wanted more teeth, something dangerous, not something that people go, oh, it's a dinosaur, fuck it. I mean,
dinosaur.
I mean, I'd fucking if I saw a dinosaur, even if I saw it multiple times, I'd be going, fucking hell's a dinosaur. Yeah, like I'd be so excited just to see it. It's like when you get to the zoo and
no one's bored. Like, oh, it's just another lion. It's like lion.
And so when you're a kid and you go to the zoo like over and over again, you don't get bored. You enjoy it. You can go, oh, it's monkeys again. Oh, I threw shit at the window again. Oh, there's you. I'm trying to think of a monkey name from Maurice was in that's a monkey name. It was in Planet of the Apes. It was the big orangutan. Like, oh, I remember you, Maurice. You threw that shit last time at me. Like these stuff like that. You excited as a kid. You wouldn't give a shit. You'd be like over and over again, like, oh, I want to go back there. It costs us like thousands of the American dollars to go there. I want to go again. I want to ride the Triceratops. I mean, I don't care if there's like a height limit. I'd fucking elbow the kid straight off and woo! I'd be straight on the back of the Triceratops and just like riding like a cowboy. Like, woo!
I mean, like if I could go to a zoo and see loads of different wolves, I'd constantly go and see them.
I saw some decent ones in Devon. They're I don't know if it's still there. They're that dinosaur park sort of thing.
Yes,
they're the Wolf Man. That one. That was it wasn't like a Channel 5 like TV series about him or Channel 4, and it was talking about him. I remember seeing him there with all the wolves and like their massive den, because they have like a massive like height thing when you like a massive like jungle of like forest like below where you can see them more. Like that's the thing. If I could see a Komodo dragon, I'd go over again. I think Chester Zoo. I don't know if they still have it, but they had a Komodo there and like 10 years ago at least. And I remember seeing it and be like, "Holy shit!" I didn't say it loud. I wasn't at that point of just shouting swear words at the top of my head. But mentally, I was like, "Holy shit!" Because I love Komodo dragons. I absolutely adore them. Which is probably why I love dragons. And
might be.
I literally was like so excited. And if I could go see that again, I fucking would. I don't give a shit if I've already seen one. I want to see it again. And that'd be the same with dinosaurs. You'd be like, I want to see this again. I don't care. Yeah, it'd be cool if you saw some genetically engineered one. You're like, oh shit, they've actually managed to make that. Fucking hell, that's like that's something I've never seen before. Like, yeah, you'd be excited, but I still wouldn't give a shit. I'm just going to see the tea. I want to go see that mosasaur fucking thing and watch it as it fucking splashes, and then go in that lift to see it underwater hunting. I mean, I would love to do that. And the gyrospheres, I'd fucking love to sit in one of those gyrospheres. Those are such a cool like movie invention for this. Like just sit in a hamster ball. I love that idea. I'd literally love to sit in there and just ride around with the dinosaurs.
Oh, definitely.
That would be like, I'd go there multiple times just to do that over and over again. I don't give a shit about genetically engineered dinosaurs. I want to see these things over and over again.
I mean, most likely as well, we wouldn't even see the Dinosaur Rex because he's invisible.
I'd say because the first time, Mr. Masrani, is it? I don't know the actual name, but I know he's dead in real life now, sadly. I know, obviously, he's like a big like Bollywood star, I think. I know when he first sees it, he doesn't get to see it fully. He just sees the eye and the sight of the face, and he's like, "Oh, this gives parents nightmares." He doesn't even fully see it. And then when Chris Pratt goes there, even he doesn't see it, and he's like, "Where is this?" And obviously, that's when the whole camouflage thing comes in. And it's like, "Oh shit, it's not in there." And I like how fully intelligent it is for the fact that it makes claw marks to make people go in there to check it out. And when it goes in there, it's like, "Bitches, I'm still here." I'm gonna get the fat guy. And obviously that whole sequence is really good. And I like the fact that you have Claire driving away and she phones him. It's like, yeah, it's still in there. The tracking is still in there. It's like, what? And then the other one's like, yeah, there's like 3 guys in this enclosure here. Do you guys know this? And the whole chase sequence, it kills that one guy first. Then obviously it goes up to the other 2. Get out. And it flips that car. It's like, that's how smart it is. It's like, well, I think you're going to be hiding in. Obviously, does that. I mean, it even flips Chris Pratt's obviously one, but obviously because him smelling of obviously gasoline there, it's like, what the fuck?
Fuck that shit.
That's not a person. I'm going to walk away and just like cause carnage. I do like how they've made him a hunter. Like he's just doing it for sport. He's not, doesn't give a shit about eating. I mean, you see that one shot of like 5 dead, like, again, I don't know what dinosaurs they are, but the actual physical one you get to see. You see 5 of these dead long necks. And it's because he's killed them. He hasn't ate them because they're still alive. He's just killed them. Well, badly injured them to the point that they're slowly dying. Like that shows how cool of a dinosaur the Indominus actually is for doing it. Like it's quite a cool movie invention, and I'm saying it's just the carnage it causes, like the slow carnage of chasing the kids. Then you got the nostalgic trip of here's Jurassic Park, going after it all there, fighting the ankylosaur, which is pretty cool.
That was cool.
And then you got chasing after everyone, breaks into the aviary. See, it broke into there more as a defense mechanism more than anything for the fact that he's getting shot at. I mean, that's pretty cool. The gunning him down, it's like trying to like run for the jungle. All you need is as he's gunning him down. But obviously, that was the instinct of him smashing in there just to basically just get out of a line of fire. And then he has the really cool moment where it fucking explosion behind him because it takes obviously the pterosaurs take the helicopter and they're running the classic running away from an explosion and not falling down. And
that one makes more sense. Actually. Yeah, fucking dinosaur.
Yeah, and I do love the fact that it communicates with obviously the ones that are in there. Obviously in the aviary, he's like basically barking orders like fucking go and cause some carnage. And obviously they fly off and like destroy everything in their sight, and obviously just cause the most damage we've seen in a Jurassic Park movie because they attack everyone in their sight. They even go for the fucking little park and ride dinosaurs. The little Triceratops. And he gets fucking dropped because you can't lift him up. And it's just, I love the build up with that to the mosasaur sequence where he obviously takes away the nanny, drops her in the water, tries to get her out, can't get a full grip, and then the mosasaur kills them both. Because that's the thing that this film does as well. It teases dinosaurs early on. Like, it shows like, little bits of the raptors what they can do, it shows the mosasaur what it can do, it shows the T-Rex briefly what it can do. Obviously just builds up for the Indominus coming out. And obviously the aviary we don't really get to see until this real sequence. And when it's just wiping everyone out, you got Claire who's like doing a Jeff Goldblum waving, sort of without a flare, just waving to get attention. Everything flying around. And Chris Pratt's just there like, hey, getting taken out by freaking everyone below. And then he's got them all getting taken out, and the kids almost get eaten by a freaking giant one. And then fucking Claire just actually grows a pair and just batters the crap out of it. And I just love the reaction of her, like being really upset because obviously she found the kids, and they're just like, "Is that Aunt Claire?" Because they just watched her beat the crap out of something. And it's just the fact that she's obviously crying. So, oh, why did you leave? Why didn't you come back? And hugging them and everything. And I love that reaction of, "Who's that guy? Who's that really hench guy behind you?" It's like, "We should go." And it's the fact, obviously, it's a slow build up then to obviously the next sequence where we see that Hoskins has taken over. And he's like, okay, we're using these raptors as weapons now. They are going to be our machines, our soldiers in this fight. And he's hooking them all up. And Chris Pratt, Owen gets there, wallops him in the face. And they're like, oh! And obviously Claire's getting involved verbally this time. Like, oh, you wanted this, you son of a bitch. Like, damn, you really forgot I wanted this? Yes, I did. You can't see it in my face, but I really wanted this.
Oh, definitely.
Now we're going to use your raptors as weapons. And then there's the build-up of like, obviously the Chris Pratt motorcycle scene with the raptors, which is like, I think the money shot was in the trailer, and it's actually the money shot that's on the Blu-ray case.
Oh, gotcha.
I think it's on most DVD cases as well, to be fair. And the other money shot is on the back. But obviously, it does that really cool sequence, which looks fucking visually so good. I mean, you know yourself from obviously watching some films, it's sometimes difficult to intertwine actual people within something like that, 'cause it's fast movement. It's really fast movement. But they do it so well. Yeah, the darkness helps to make it look better, but you have to give credit where credit's due. It still looks really fucking good. The merging, I'm assuming a bit of green screen maybe there, and the build up then to obviously the actual Indominus coming out and the big reveal of thing's part raptor, and it's like they just got themselves a new alpha because obviously the Indominus is now like their muscle. It's like yeah, kick their ass. And obviously
he's Indominus is the stronger one. So like. Well, we could follow the human.
Yeah, because they do look back at Chris Pratt.
That one looks stronger.
Because as I said to you, there's that shot of the cameras. All cameras are pointing at Chris Pratt, and his eyes is lighting up in the night vision. Like
they're all focused on him.
They're all focusing. It's like shit, but he's like raised us from birth, but he's bigger and better. Fuck it. Oh, obviously they get shot at before they can do. Like, I like the fact they get shot at because they don't. I don't think they are going to attack at the moment. They're still mind-wise, like trying to decide. But when they get shot at, it's like, well, might as well fucking do it now then. And obviously then they're fucking attacking everyone. I like that one by one. A lot of it's from the point of view of the cameras. Like you see that one guy's legs, like he's screaming, he's getting dragged away. That's what I like with this, because as you know, with Jurassic Park, with the age rating, which this one is a 12, they can't do a lot of deaths on screen, as proven with the Indominus attack when it attacks the mercenary, ATF is it they're called? Advanced Task Force or something like that. Like they're basically like not poachers, like a security detail that's meant to basically like, to get the animals back in check. ACU actually, I think it's called. I don't know. It begins with an A. I remember it begins with an A. That's all I remember about it.
The A-team.
Yeah, the A team get wiped out, and I like the fact that a lot of that is shown from the point of view of the defibrillating on the flatlining on the system. Like I say, they do a lot of this. They do a lot of shots of, yeah, we can't show you it fully. We can show you that maybe get slightly eaten. Not the first guy does, probably the most famous of all the task force members, when he gets eaten. And then it obviously just shows a flatlining of each of them. And whereas this obviously it does it from the point of view of the cameras, where you can't see it fully. A lot of times you see the cameras just break, or like I say, legs flailing as they're getting dragged away, or that the raptors jumping at them, which I think is a really good way of doing it, where you can get away with deaths without having to push for like a 15 maybe, like to show stuff. Because I mean, yeah, there's blood in this, but there's blood in all of them. But they do it in a artistic way. They can get away with it and still be a family film to rake in $1 billion at the box office, which this fucking did. I mean, this and the next one are both raked in $1 billion each. They did really well. I mean, the second one struggled with critical ratings. I can't remember if it struggled audience ratings, but it still made the $1 billion because it's Jurassic Park. People still want to see motherfucking dinosaurs, because I want to see some motherfucking dinosaurs. You try to watch this fucking movie because it's so good. And I like the bit when it even attacks obviously the trainers. Obviously, it goes after the guy from X-Men, the one from Days of Future Past. He goes after him, and he's there trying to like he's got the gun, but he doesn't want to shoot, and he's holding off. And then obviously Chris Pratt's one has to save there. Because obviously he wants to save the raptors, but also save his friend. Because I mean, he's already lost one raptor because he had to watch as I don't know which one it was, because I can't remember off the top of my head. It's either Delta, Echo, or Charlie. One of them obviously gets blown up by the RPG, and he has to watch as it dies in front of him. So it's the case now he needs to save him, and obviously he lures him away with the bike to save his friend, since he got left by everyone else who, for some reason, took his quad bike, even though they all came in actual vehicles. Somehow they stole his quad bike. I'm surprised they didn't steal Chris Pratt's motorcycle.
Imagine.
Oh, fuck, I'm stuck now. And obviously we do get a really cool chase where Claire's like trying to drive away with the kids. That guy bangs on the window, he's like, they're coming! And he gets killed by a raptor. And obviously the kids are stuck in the back of the driving away. The raptor are trying to jump in for the glass. And the kids have to actually team up and use the fucking the electric trank, like zapper. A big taser, I like to call it. A big taser to jab it and be like, oh man, did you see that? I can't wait to tell Mom. No.
Please don't tell your mother.
I just love that. How excited they are that just kick the raptor's ass. And Owen comes up and the like, Owen, woo! I'm surprised I didn't go, we just kicked its ass! But I do like, obviously, then the team, obviously, they're going into the actual the visitor centre, which is quite a cool callback because the ending of the first movie was in the visitor centre.
Yeah.
So I like the fact they go back there and then they find, obviously, they're all packing up everything, getting all the DNA out of there because they're basically going to transport it elsewhere to make some dodgy dinosaur dealings. And it's the fact that they're obviously seeing all this stuff for the first time, like, oh, they said a splicing this and that. As you say with the snake, that's maybe where the heat visions come from. And then you've got the fucking aspect of seeing, obviously, out of nowhere, people are standing there packing stuff up and just like, my mind's like, how the fuck has no one heard anyone behind? They've just been standing here packing stuff up behind. Do you reckon they were going, slowly move it into the box? The quieter and slower we speak, they can't hit. Oh, for fuck's sake, you shut the box! Alright, lads.
She turns around and like, oh, fuck it, no more speed now, guys.
And obviously Hoskins comes in and is having a go at him. He's like, oh, we're making weapons out of all this. And obviously the raptor comes in again. I think it might have been Delta, that one, because obviously he looked at Delta earlier. He's like, oh, they look at what they want to eat. So I reckon that was Delta. They've all got colour patterns, so if you know the colour patterns, you'll know which one's which.
If it's not blue, then it's one of the others.
If it's not if it's one of the ones that dies, then it's one of the others. But I like the fact that he's there trying to speak to it, because obviously he had that story early on where he's like, oh, I had a pet wolf, and it basically took a chunk out of his wife's arm as she tried to kill him. And he's like, oh, did you put the wolf down? He goes, oh, hell no. He's a good friend. He stayed there for the rest of his life. So he tries to treat it like an animal, like a domestic animal, not a wild animal. So he's like, that's where easy. We're on the same side. Like he's speaking to it as if it was a human. Like he knows they're smart, so we're on the same side here.
Not that smart.
Tries to touch it, bites his arm, and it's quite a tense moment as you think, what's going to happen? And then it bites the arm, and he starts screaming. And he's there going, ah, fucking flaming around. Obviously they run away, and you see that shot of blood across the glass. And it's like, that's very artistic again to show it without actually showing.
Like, he's dead, but we can't really show
it's at 12, so here's some blood
Mm.
to get people that are into that happy, like me. And then obviously there's the whole Dilophosaur hologram scene when you see that they're smart, but they're still curious of things, like they're confused, obviously, of like, whoa, there's another dinosaur here? What the hell? And then it's very jump straight. It's like, the fuck? And obviously as you go outside and you see the other raptors, obviously corner, and that one comes out, it's like, come on, you can't trick me that way. And I like the back, obviously you see that really slow thing where he's trying to be an alpha again, Owen is, and he's removing the camera, and they're actually like, huh, maybe we got this wrong. And then the Indominus comes in, and it's like, there's that little argument between the two, and it's like, oh, he's seeing it as, yeah, you may be bigger, you may be stronger, but he's still essentially my dad. And that's what gets him bitch slapped across the fucking room. And I do like the fact the other raptors look at each other, it's like, whoa!
Fuck this shit.
And then obviously there's that one by one, and Chris Pratt's like, whistles at them, and they fucking jump it, and the Indominus have to fight them all off, sadly one by one killing them. Obviously the one gets fucking thrown into the fire. Southern Fried Raptor, am I right? And then you got the other one that gets basically just like smashes into someone. I think he dies. I think it pierces into someone. I can't remember off the top of my head. And obviously Blue's the last one standing, but Blue like disappears for a while, and he's just the Indominus basically trying to kill the kids and then get the fanny pack because he really wants that fanny pack. And I did like the fact that it's the kid who has the bright idea. He's like, we need more teeth to win this fight. There's not enough to fight this hybrid, and that's why obviously Claire's mindset goes, I'm going to Jeff Goldblum this shit. Gets a flare. Like, hasta la vista, be back, runs off. Obviously, Owen sees this, obviously he's trying to fight. He's trying to gun down, obviously, the Indominus, while his raptors are obviously fighting, dying. And she runs off, and obviously I like when she's on the comms to the guy in the control room. I think it's Larry, his name is. It's one of the easier ones to try and remember. It's close to Gary. And she's like, oh, open paddock 9. He's like, what? He's starting to open it. He's like, really? Because you don't know what's in paddock 9, but he does, because he can see like the title on the, obviously maybe it said paddock 9, spoiler, T-Rex enclosure, so he knows what's in for this here. And then obviously she's like, do it, and he opens it, like, oh fuck, he opens it, because I mean he had the moment earlier when she's on the phone yelling like, you need to get everyone into the park to find my nephews, and he's like, just do it, man. So I feel like that's a callback there. He knows like not to argue. He's like, fine, click it. I mean, I've already lost one possible dating moment here with the other fucking computer one, for the fact that he goes to kiss and she's like, oh, I got a boyfriend. He's like, oh, is it serious? Yeah. Okay. Well, here's an awkward hug. See you later. And obviously, you know, then you don't see it again. You don't know it's T-Rex until you start hearing the boom, boom. I really wish they did a shot maybe of a puddle.
Yeah, I was thinking.
And you saw like a slight rumbling, and you'd be like, oh shit, I know what's coming. And obviously then you see obviously the spark, the flare, and you see the lighting on the face of the T-Rex comes walking out, and then she slowly backs away and runs in high heels so majestically, as it fucking like runs after a roaring. And I love obviously it's the callback to the flare. Obviously it follows the light, it's following the movement, so it's going after her, and then smashes for a fucking Spinosaurus. It's like a fuck you for Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah.
And then I like the Indominus who looks at him and is like, oh, so this is how it is. And obviously that massive fight. And I like this fact again, the T-Rex, just like the Spiny fight, the T-Rex is the first one to get in the hit. Yeah. Goes straight with its mouth to the neck, trying to go for like the bite instantly. And I like the fact that it doesn't show you, it's not straight away the Indominus uses the arms. It kind of has the same mindset the T-Rex. Got to use my jaw, got to fight that way. And then eventually it realises and gets the better of him and knocks him over and tries to Jurassic Park 3 this shit and try and kill him that way. And it's like really silent. It's like, and then you hear is caw, and you see Blue like the super
like a Baywatch,
like a Baywatch running into the position, yes, like fucking Baywatch running, dun, 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 dun. Or Chariots of Fire, dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. All you need them is Mr. Bean from the Red Nose Day one when he's Red Nose Day. Is it Red Nose or the Queen Jubilee when he drives past his car? Instead of like running it, he just drives past him in the car. Anyway, it's like a slow motion, like Michael Bay's in the editing room as it runs. I like the fact that at first it's running normal and then it goes aggressive, like it roars. It's little arms comes up. It's like, wah! And it like jumps, and then there's that whole team up of the T-Rex and the Raptor, like two mortal enemies from the first movie, teaming up to batter this Indominus. And they're all getting these hits in. Eventually, obviously, they managed to throw him all the way by the water's edge, breaking the barrier that was there. And like the fact that the Indominus still managed to get back up, it's still not down. It's like, oh, come at me again. I've got you this time. And the Mosasaur perfectly grabs it and drags it in. I like to think, even though you see it, the T-Rex and the Raptors look at you and are like, she with you? I thought she was with you. And then Wonder Woman appears. Yes, that was a BVS reference. It was a scene with Batman and Superman like, she with you? I thought she was with you. But I do like then the mutual respect between the Raptor and the T-Rex. Like,
yeah,
we're not gonna. We could fight right now and just see who's the better one, but no, go on, get out of here.
So the whole point of the Rex is basically a mix between a T-Rex, Raptor. Like that's the most.
Yeah.
Biggest part of them is it's a T-Rex with Raptor traits.
Yeah.
It's this big thing with other things just shoved in. The big thing is it's that Raptor traits and a T-Rex, and it's the T-Rex and the Raptor that's fighting.
Exactly. And obviously then you have the moment of Chris Pratt and Blue looking at each other, like looking into each other's eyes, like gazing into each other's eyes, and he's and I like it. He's like confused. He's like, "Do I go with you now because you're my alpha, or do I not?" And Owen's just like shakes his head and he's like, doesn't say anything, just has to look and shake his head. And Blue's just like, "Okay," and runs off into the island. So I like that little bit there, and obviously then it cuts to the next sort of morning where everyone's like in the. It's like a giant hangar essentially, like a plane hangar type thing. But I don't think it is. I think it's something else. I think it's to do with the boat more than anything. It's like a massive like sort of hangar where everyone's getting treated for the medics. So all the characters are popping up that you've seen throughout the movie. Even obviously the only one who's not there is the guy with glasses, because the last shot we saw him was turn the lights off inside the building and walk away. With the callback of picking up the dinosaur in the first film. And obviously he walks away, and you get that moment where obviously all the families come back together, and obviously the mom and dad have come to see the kids. They're hugging the kids. Obviously the mom hugs her sister, because obviously they've had there's a few moments throughout the film when she's been on the phone with her, like, arguing, but still both realising they're still family. And get all that hugging and whatnot. And so then Claire runs off and gets off with Owen. It's like, oh, where'd we go from there? He's like, I think we should stick together for survival instincts. Cue Jurassic World 2, where nothing happens. They've actually split up mutually. Just like it's like Alan and Ellie all over again. That's all they basically are, is Alan and Ellie. Except obviously, instead of actual sexual desire, there's sexual tension for most of the movie. But yeah, and obviously you get the last shot of the movie with the T-Rex roaring off into the distance as the music then cues, and you get the Jurassic Park theme over the credits. And it's just such a great way to end the movie with that shot of the T-Rex like roaring over its new park. Like, this is now its land. And I do like as well that the animated series, the Camp Cretaceous, continues on from this moment and adds more to it, with obviously the kids being stuck there. Yeah, there's no mention in this movie of a Camp Cretaceous within there, but I mean, it doesn't always have to be references. It's just like something they eventually decided to do. But I do like the fact that obviously then they add to this, obviously the Indominus still lurking around the island, the T-Rex still lurking, and obviously other dinosaurs that have got loose that you've never seen, and other dinosaurs that you've seen that are also loose. I do like they've added to that, which I think is pretty cool. And then obviously that builds up into obviously Fallen Kingdom, which obviously the start of it happens during Camp Cretaceous, well, obviously simultaneously, and then they've gone off into some other direction now, which people are thinking, oh, they're going to go into Dominion now somehow or some way, but I mean, they're on a different island completely now, so probably not. But I do think this is a great way of reviving a franchise from death, basically.
Pretty much.
I mean, it'd be the same if they brought Jaws back and did the same sort of movie, but bigger, more money, visually looking better, actually a good story, and not a Jaws revenge situation. It'd be like that sort of idea, like something that a film that badly killed its franchise, a sequel, and then reviving it, but actually still continuing. But obviously, I feel like if they did that Jaws way, they'd just have to kind of wipe the slate. I'd say with at least 3 and 4, maybe at a push 2, but at least 3 and 4 would have to be.
They built the Halloween films.
Yeah. Basically, they'd have to wipe the slate with at least 1 or 2 of them. Definitely number 4. And just go from there. But I do think this is the perfect revival, and it's a good way to bring people's mindset back to the Jurassic franchise, which had been dead for far too long, but at the same time, a perfect length of time to get people excited for the idea of there's a new one out. You need to see this. Maybe the same sort of type of movie, but it's bigger. It's not better, but there's no word to say bigger and better. Bigger and just slightly below the first one, but better than any sequel to date. It may not have your legacy characters like most requels tend to do now, but it's still Jurassic with dinosaurs. And then, you go to watch it because it's dinosaurs, and you go, I like dinosaurs. And then you start singing Barney again. Oh, no.
Oh, God, no.
I love you. You love me. No! And then Barney molests you because he's a big purple dinosaur, and no one knows who's under that big purple dinosaur suit. No one knows. But still, I still think it was such an incredible movie. It just ticked every box that you'd want it to tick.
Definitely.
And it definitely hyped it up even more to see the rest of this trilogy. Obviously, Fallen Kingdom, then Dominion. And I was hyped to hell for Camp Cretaceous, the animated series. I was really hyped for that because of these movies. I was like, oh shit, I need to see this expansion because Jurassic World, and in my opinion, Fallen Kingdom were fucking amazing. Yeah, they may have been just the exact same premise as the first movie, just with an updated design, updated slight story, but I don't give a shit. I love member berries. I fucking love member berries. So yeah, it's just the perfect revival, in my opinion.
Got the good mixture of nostalgia and new themes and different perspective on, like, instead of just bringing back a dinosaur, it's making our own dinosaur. It's nice little. It's somewhat different, but it still has the same feeling.
Yeah. Basically, the exact same thing it said in Scream 5.
Yeah.
That explanation. If it was too different, we'd probably kick off and be like, oh, fuck up, shit.
Fuck that.
Oh, I don't want to watch this anymore. But for the fact it was just a right amount of it was like, I really enjoyed that movie. I need another one. It was so fucking good. I remember speaking to someone before, and when I used to work at Smith's, and they didn't really enjoy it. And I was just like, in my head, I was like, oh, okay, it's opinion. In my head, I was like, get out of my sight. Get out of my sight. But yeah, I definitely think it's something that if you haven't seen, even if you haven't seen a Jurassic movie, you need to see it. So, I mean, you can skip all the others because it doesn't really have to make a mention to it. Yeah, it's always good to have that knowledge from before, at least the first. But it's fine not to have that knowledge, and it's fine to see this movie as it is. Yeah. Jurassic World. Thumbs up.
Definitely. It's a nice
throwback.
Yeah.
But throw forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the best way to sort of say it. Throwback but throw forward. It's better than most requels at the time. I.e. Terminator Genesis. That film sucked balls. Anyway, so yeah, let's get to the rating side of this. I think it's simple. I mean, it's not a 10 out of 10. It's not an 8 out of 10 like the other sequels. For me, it's got to be a 9 out of 10. It's where I want where I wanted the sequels to be. But they weren't, sadly. They were sadly below that. But it was not overshadowing the original movie.
Yeah, because I think if the second and the third Jurassic Park films were never made, and it was just this was the sequel, it would still work. Yeah,
100%.
And it would be one of those like really really good sequels as well.
Yeah.
So the fact that it felt new and felt very familiar and it all worked, and it's just I'd say definitely I'd go for 9 as well.
So it's easily a golden egg and a golden Jeff.
Definitely.
So that's simple, and the chat gave overall rating of 9 out of 10.
It'd be 10 out of 10 if Jeff Goldblum, wasn't it?
It's all gold around basically. Okay, MVP. What's a tricky one this is? What are we thinking? Remember, we can give dinosaurs MVP awards. Remember that.
I'm thinking like maybe Blue.
I was thinking maybe Blue as well, because it changed the perspective of a raptor. It's not just this vicious killing machine. It actually made it a smart leader sort of character.
Because obviously he's playing on the whole. The fact that Velociraptors became so popular, like people don't just want them to be the villain; they want them to be like the hero as well, on the good side.
Okay, so we'll give it to Blue then. Runner up. Tricky one as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Owen.
Owen's a good character. Yeah, to be fair.
The whole connection with the raptors.
Yeah,
good.
It'd feel weird if we didn't give him a runner up if Blue had the top one. Yeah, fuck it. Let's get to Owen.
Yeah, go on.
Owen gets the runner up on this one. Okay, favorite moment.
Oh, I think it's gotta be the T-Rex and Dominus Rex
big
fight with when the raptor comes back and helps. It's like
the triple threat. I was talking like the triple threat, the Dino Brawl. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Again, bitch, you stole my one, so I got to think of a new one there. I'm gonna give it to the moment you find out the Indominus is part raptor, and there's the whole hunting sequence after the battles between them. So I definitely will give that to that sequence as my runner-up. It was either that or the gyrosphere scene, because the gyrospheres are pretty cool. So yeah, I'd definitely give it to the raptors hunting scene. Okay, so let's actually put it into our rankings of Jurassic movies. So I think it's a 9 for me. So it's easy where these slots, for second to make some others were 8, pushing everything down a peg. Whereas you gave it actual 9 before. So
the Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. So where's this one going on yours? You got 1, 2, 3 so far as you're ordering.
Yeah. So I'd say that the first Jurassic Park
still number. Well, I mean, it's got to be still number 1. It's still a 10.
Yeah, it's that one. It's down to 10 10. Ooh.
See, but does Lost World drop a peg, or does Jurassic World slotting behind Lost World?
As fun as this one is, everyone's got Jeff Goldblum.
You're being biased here.
I know I'm being biased. The whole point of opinions. Jeff Goldblum.
So, are you saying Lost World is better than Jurassic World? Is that what you're saying right now?
I think I am.
Oh.
I think I am.
Oh.
Just about. Just
because of Jeff?
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum. Oh. He clinches it for me. Jeff Goldblum.
Oh. That's controversial, though. I mean, it's just controversial to me saying Jurassic Park 3 is a good sequel. Okay, that's a 1, 2, 4, 3. That's the simplest way of putting yours. Whereas mine is 1, 4, 3, 2. It's a weird one, mine is. Okay. I think that covers everything. What's your opinions on Jurassic World? Do you think it did well enough to deserve its sequels? And just in general, did you really enjoy it? And then put all the comments of why it's better than Lost World. Yeah. Next week, Connor's back as usual, and actually, no, he's not. I'm doing these back to back.
Oh.
Next week, you're sticking around because it's Fallen Kingdom time.
Oh god.
Because next week is actually the release of the new movie, so I'm doing I'm doing this in time with that.
I wonder why.
Yeah, you got to throw Jurassic in there so people go, oh, Jurassic.
Algorithm.
Exactly, you got to get the algorithm going. So yeah, obviously next week is Fallen Kingdom. So until then, this has been the Chat Cave Podcast.